Hello Taku's friends, welcome back with me. As the days go by, more and more isekai genre anime are emerging, with each season having more than 3 titles ready to air. Worldwide, the search data for isekai is the highest according to Google Trends. However, the concept of this anime is just like that, nothing special. It simply narrates the life-changing journey of an ordinary person becoming superior in their new world. I sometimes get bored with this anime genre. But why is isekai anime so popular? Why do many studio and publisher companies rush to produce this isekai anime? I will discuss the phenomenon of isekai from a business and contemporary pop culture perspective. Before we dive into the discussion, I would like to ask you to press the subscribe button to support me in staying motivated to create content like this. For those who don't know, isekai means another world. It doesn't necessarily mean another world full of ghosts. But if we look at its definition, isekai is a fantasy subgenre that tells the story of a character moving to a different world. Usually, the process of transition is through reincarnation, transportation, or teleportation. Actually, the isekai genre is not only popular in Japan, but it has also been popular in Europe for several decades. Examples include famous franchises like Alice in Wonderland, Harry Potter, and Chronicles of Narnia. All 3 use the journey to another world as their main story. Meanwhile, in the world of animanga, it has been quite a long time. According to Dunyagames, it is mentioned that one of the first anime to adopt the isekai genre was Uke no Monsho, released in 1976. But the isekai genre was not as popular back then as it is now. It was still considered very rare and had very few enthusiasts. And there are 2 types of isekai genres, each with a different concept. There is isekai tenni, world transfer, examples of anime like Sword Art Online or Re:Zero, and the other one is isekai tensei, reincarnation, examples of anime like Mushoku Tensei or That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. As I mentioned earlier, isekai anime used to have few enthusiasts until Sword Art Online emerged in 2012. That became the starting point for the popularity of isekai anime until now. One of the factors why many people like this anime is because it offers the concept of escapism, or can be called the concept of escape from reality. Well, it's understandable. In the midst of a monotonous life, routine activities. When watching isekai anime, it feels like a representation of oneself, experiencing the beauty of the concept of another world, exciting adventures, and various waifus become a form of mental relaxation for many viewers. Not to mention the story of the main character being overpowered adds a satisfying element to the anime. The concept of the main character in isekai can be considered quite mainstream. There are those who start as commoners, regular guys, until there are characters who start as unemployed and then become heroes in their new world. But because of this concept, many viewers also imagine that the main character is themselves. It becomes a place of fantasy freedom for the audience, which sometimes leads to closing themselves off and becoming a hikikomori, or, in our language, a recluse. There are even those who contemplate suicide with silly thoughts, hoping for reincarnation in an isekai. What the fuck, man? As a result, the isekai anime genre is banned in Russia, with the reason being many foolish people like the ones mentioned earlier. Looking at it from a business or industry perspective, it turns out that isekai anime is the main spearhead for the publishing company Kadokawa. Its net sales have grown by 23% year over year, although a significant portion comes from the Elden Ring video game series. The anime publication segment, especially isekai genres like Mushoku Tensei, Jobless Reincarnation, and The Daughter of the Archduke, has contributed significantly to the large sales. And we can also see that the top titles in the Kadokawa company's publishing segment are almost all isekai genres. Not to mention, in the video and game segments, the top rankings are still dominated by isekai anime. So, It's not surprising that on Netflix now, almost 70% of the anime series fall under the isekai genre, because the market is so powerful. And that's also why I myself am tired and fed up with this genre. But it's a market segment. As long as it remains a lucrative field for the industry, it will undoubtedly continue to be exploited. Although, when we compare one-on-one with shonen anime like Jujutsu Kaisen, the difference in revenue is vast. Jujutsu Kaisen, along with its movie, earned 7.71 billion yen in 18 days, whereas for the isekai genre, Tensei Shitara Dataken, it was only 750 million yen in the last 12 days. Even though it may not be an apples-to-apples comparison, the significant gap in revenue suggests that the real market lies in anime genres like Jujutsu Kaisen, Kimetsu no Yaiba, etc. But it's true, producing anime like that, both in terms of writing and production, is not as straightforward as isekai genres with template-like stories. So, when there is an anime like that, it becomes a masterpiece. But going back to the success story of the isekai genre in the industry, there are also quite a few anime fans like me. Many have experienced the same feeling, getting bored with isekai genres that are presented in such a predictable manner. This has led to a lot of criticism of this genre. However, the brilliance of manga authors, the sensei, is that they use criticism as material for innovation. This has resulted in isekai works that dare to step outside the norm. Like Konosuba, which takes a comedic approach, or Mushoku Tensei, which explores the maturity of characters with a deep storyline. This is also the reason why the isekai genre still dominates in new animanga titles. Although there are still not many isekai animanga with storylines that have evolved, hopefully, in the future, there will be more isekai anime that is not boring and, if possible, becomes a masterpiece. So that's my discussion about the hype of this boring genre, from being an unpopular genre to becoming one that never misses every season. It has sparked ridiculous thoughts to the point where the isekai genre is banned in Russia. If anyone wants to add from a different perspective, just comment below. Let's discuss together, and this discussion is purely from my personal opinion. If you like it, please click the like button, and if you don't, you can click dislike. See you in the next video. Keep critical and dynamic thinking.